Okay, 2018 paper, MCQ, and question number 44. So in the previous day, we discussed up to 43, I guess. Yes, 43 also, yes, we have done that. 43, did we do actually 43? I think 43 also we have to discuss, right? Yes. Consider the following statements regarding functional and non-functional requirements of a sales system. Consider the following statements regarding functional and non-functional requirements of sales system. Functional requirements means any system. Functional requirement means mandatory things, compulsory. It is must have, right? It's must have things are called functional requirement. And so maybe, so it is better to have features, likely, like to have something is better. If it is there, those are called non-functional requirements. On the other hand, we can define like this. Functional requirements are the basic achievements and non-functional are the constraints on the particular requirement. Constraints mean something like this. Functional requirement is like printing the receipts. Printing the receipts is a functional requirement. So print the receipt in a more readable manner or user-friendly manner with some pictures. That is not non-functional requirement. Or print the receipt is a functional requirement. Print the receipt within 2 seconds is a constraint. It's a non-functional requirement. So any constraint or any limitation on functional requirements, those are called non-functional. Okay, so that is the easiest way of understanding functional and non-functional requirement. Reads barcodes of item purchased and produces the invoice. So you read the item barcode and then produce the invoice. That is a functional requirement. It is not nice to have a feature, no. It should be there in the system. So it is a functional requirement. So accept users' request and response in less than 1 second. Accept user response is a functional requirement, but less than 1 second seems a constraint on that, right? Okay, so let's keep it as a non-functional requirement for the moment, right? Okay, let's analyze the other things and so understand what is then process a minimum of 1,000 transactions per second. What about that? It is also, so looks like a non-functional requirement because it looks like a limitation, but yeah, per second, how many transactions need to be completed? Seems a limitation, right? Okay, so then let's analyze 43. 1, 2, 3, all are functional. No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, all are not functional. We cannot tell like that. It is not, right? It's all are not functional. So there are some functional, there are some non-functional. Then the next one saying, 1 functional, 2, 3 non-functional. Seems that is the correct answer. 2 functional, 1, 3 non-functional. 2 functional, then 1, 3, no, it's not like 1, 3 cannot be none. 1 is functional requirement. For sure, 1 is functional requirement, right? Okay, 1 and 3 functional, 2 is non-functional. That can be another choice. And so let's go to the basic rule. According to the basic rule, you know that the functional requirements are the needs and non-functional requirements are nice to have features. So that is one way of defining. Second way of defining this, functional requirements are the basic requirements, non-functional requirements are the limitations on that. So what are the constraints for the limitation? Accept user request is a functional requirement. Process transaction is a functional requirement. Read barcode is also a functional requirement. But when you read further, accept user response less than 1 second. less than 1 second. That's a limitation. So that falls in under non-functional. So 2 can be kept as non-functional. Then process transactions is a functional, but process minimum of 1000 transactions seems to be limitation. So 2, 3 we can take as non-functional, and let's take answer 2 as the correct answer. So this is a typical question. In every paper you will get this question. Each and every paper I have seen this question. Each and every paper you will get the functional requirement, non-functional requirement thing. It's easy to identify, but you have to read carefully. Otherwise, you will get this wrong. Okay, question number 44. Consider the following software development lifecycle models. Spiral model. Spiral model is like you know, so it's like a circle, but not just circle. It's something like this. Actually, it has several phases. The first phase, you have to analyze the requirement, critically evaluate, and then risk is analyzed. Then you have to develop and then hand over or add to the system. Likewise, phase by phase, identifying the requirement, risk analysis, then development, likewise. So that is called spiral model. That is best, that is suitable when the system is risky. When system has more risk, that is suitable. Then waterfall model, that is the easiest one. Waterfall model means system analysis or problem definition, requirement analysis, after that system designing, after that system development, after that system testing, after that system deployment, and then the review and maintenance, RNM. So likewise, steps are fall in one after another in a sequential or chronological order, then we call waterfall. It's dropping like a waterfall. Rapid application development, RAD. That is a faster way of developing a software. Rapid application development, or RAD, is a faster way of developing a software. What is the faster way? Faster way means like, so typically this take 90 days, typically, right? Faster means not 1 hour work. Typically it takes 90 days. Actually, it's a short schedule. Related to RAD, we discuss about a SWAT team. SWAT team, skilled workers and advanced tools. You can write down. SWAT teams mean SWAT team is there in a RAD. What is SWAT? Skilled workers. Product talent තියන specifically talents තියන workers ලා. Skilled workers with advanced tools. Advanced tools. So these advanced tools are capable of doing some task very quickly by assembly. So let me give an example. When there's a flood, when there's a destruction of road, when destruction of bridge. So there is a way of temporarily connecting that bridge by using some pre-engineered work. Actually, sometimes they are bringing some like plates and thing, and they are assembling this bridge very soon. මේ වගේ හදපු concrete plate ගෙනල්ලා ටක් ගාලා පාලම assemble කරලා යන්නේ. පාලම ටක් ගාලා හදලා යනවා. ඒක නිකන් rapid application development වගේ. එන්නේ ටිකක් ලොකු machines, advanced tools and skilled workers. Skilled workers. ඒකටම highly specialized skilled workers. අර හිමීට කණු හදලා ඒවා උඩදා ඒවා මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ටක් ගාලා ඇවිල්ලා යකඩ වලින් පාලම මේව කරලා යනවා. ඒක හරියට RAD වගේ. ඒ වගේ තමයි software වල. In software also we have that rapid application development. What is happening actually? When you need a software, these people with the tools, they will quickly engineer software and deliver it within 90 days. A shorter schedule. Right. Then, which of the above requires defining and finalizing requirements in the early phase of the life cycle? Which of the following needs to finalize the requirement in the early phase of it? That means you cannot change the requirement in the middle. So that is waterfall, right? Waterfall is falling down one after another. Once requirement is defined, you cannot change the requirement. Once requirement is defined, you cannot change the requirement, right? Therefore, The waterfall model, you can't change the requirements in the middle. So you have to discover the things in the early stages. So answer for question number 44 is waterfall. But other models, you can introduce some requirement in the middle as well. Because that is like skilled workers with advanced tools, quickly fixing something by reusing some other components is easy. Spiral model is anyway analyzing carefully, next phase by phase development happens. So the new requirement can be added in the next phase. So that is obviously possible. So answer number 2 is the answer for question number 44. And consider the following requirements regarding structured and object-oriented software development methodologies. Okay, so what are they? What is structured? What is object-oriented? So there are two things, structured model and object-oriented model. So what is structured model and what is object-oriented model? So what's the difference? Can anyone tell me? Okay, Senali, can you tell me what is the difference between object-oriented model and, if you know, right? Structured model, if you know, if you don't know, it's okay. I'll teach. Matakanan kiyanna bala. Structured model, object-oriented model. What's the difference? Basic difference? Okay, seems that you cannot remember. It's okay. So let me tell this. So if you cannot remember something, when we are discussing in the paper discussion, so what do you have to do? Right? Paper discussion එකේ කතා කරද්දී පුතේ මේ වැඩේ කරන්න. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම you have to take notes related to the question. So because we are not going to discuss this one time නේද? අපි exam එක තියෙනකන් 2017, 18, 19, 20, it was 21 තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම නේද? Likewise, we will be discussing all the papers and some model papers. So we will be discussing same theory again and again. So put the question number and put the paper number, paper year actually 2018, question number 45 related to that. If you don't know something, take short notes. Right? You can take short notes later also because you will be getting the video after the discussion. Right? Then also you can take notes. But the thing is, so it's better to take notes while we are discussing now itself, because then one work ඒකෙන් short note ගහගන්නයි කමාරුයි ඊට වැඩිය ලේසි එකපාර කරන්න. Okay, structured designing, structured model එකේදී in structured model basically the process is given the priority. ක්‍රියාවලියට තමයි ප්‍රමුඛතාවය දෙන්නේ. In structured model, process is given the priority. Right? Structured. Basically, we can call process oriented. Why it is process oriented? Because, okay, let's say student registration system. You want to engineer that in structured model. Student registration system එක structured model එකට හදන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට අපි හිතන්නේ මෙහෙම. Student එනවා. Form එක fill කරනවා. Form එකේ so student will fill the first name, middle name, last name. Then student will select the gender. Gender can be male, female. Then student will write their database, date of birth, then the address, then the telephone number. Number can be home number, mobile number, work number. Likewise, we think about the process. What will happen? So based on that, we will see three kind of control structures. One is called sequence. The second one is called selection. The third one is called repetition. And these are called control structures. So control structures matters. Control structures matters in structured programming. So can you at least remember the control structure? Netuli, any one of you? Can you remember the control structures? Sequence, what is sequence? What is selection? What is repetition? We learn in Python. Yes. Come on, so silent. I feel...
remember.
Yes, Nathalie?
Sequence means one after the other. Selection, you can select.
Repetition is
You
repetition.
repeat the task bar until some condition is achieved.
Yes. So sequence is where you write instructions or you execute instructions one after another. The first instruction, second instruction, third instruction, fourth instruction. So you execute one after another. So simple. So that is called sequence. Selection means you have a condition. Okay, let's say you came to a junction in a road. Now you have to decide whether to turn right or left. Junction එකට ආවම පාරක අපි බෑනේ දකුණටයි වමටයි දෙකටම යන්නේ. We have to decide either to turn right or turn left. So that sequence වලදී එහෙම කතන්දර නැහැ. Condition නැහැ. කෙලින් තියෙන පාරේ එනවා. කඩවල් පහු කරලා බස් හෝල්ට් පහු කරලා ඒ දිගටම එනවා. That is sequence. So I'm just giving some examples, right? In coding, sequence means, right? In coding, sequence means the instructions are executed one after another. Selection means in coding you have a condition. Based on a condition, you have to select a path. Maybe you are given two numbers. So you are asked to select the largest number. You have to compare two numbers. If number one is larger than number two, then number one is selected. If number one is not larger than number two, then number two is selected. So based on a condition, you have to take some decision. That is selection. Repetition means you do things until a certain condition satisfied. Maybe you are asked to print numbers, odd numbers from 1 to 10. So the condition is the number range should be between 1 to 10. When it exceeds number 10, it will stop. Okay, or you are given a task to read, you are given a task to get maybe, okay, let's say the task is to find out square numbers from 1 to 100. You start from 1 by 1 you repeat, continue, and you will print 1, then 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 2 is 4, 3 by 3 is 9. Likewise, you continue, and continue, then 10 by 10 is 100. After that, you stop, because you have to find numbers from 1 to 100, the square numbers. So simple as that. Right. Okay. Sequence, selection, repetition. So this one control structure. Structured means this process-oriented architecture. Structured means this process-oriented architecture. Then, so what is object-oriented? On the other hand, what is object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming means basically you think about objects and classes participating in the program. Let's say student registration system. Student is a class. Student is a class or template. Class means a template for a set of similar type of objects. Template for a set of similar type of objects. It's a class. And a student has student ID, name, date of birth, and student can pay. Student can register. So this is what student can do with the system. So the student has student ID, name, date of birth, those are attributes. Student can register, pay, those are called behaviors or methods. So student is a class. Actually, using student class, you can create any number of students. So who are the participants is the main concern about object-oriented program. Object-oriented programming වලදී තොට බලන්නේ අරකෙදි බලන්නේ program එක execute වෙන විදිහනේ. අනුපිළිවෙලට වෙනවද, තීරණ ගන්න තියෙනවද, repeat වෙවි වෙනවද? එතකොට program එක වැඩ කරන විදිහ. Object-oriented වලදී ඊට වැඩිය සැලකිලිමත් වෙන්නේ ඉන්නේ කවුද? ඉන්න කට්ටිය කොහොමද message pass කරන්නේ කියන එක. ඉන්නේ කවුද කියන එකේදී අපි classes විදිහට හදා ගන්නවා ඉන්න අයගේ වර්ග. ඒතර ඒ classes වලින් ඕන තරම් object හදන්න පුළුවන්. So class is a blueprint or template for a set of similar types of objects. You can write down if you want. Class is a template or blueprint. Template or blueprint for a set of similar type of objects. එක වගේ object කොටකට පොඩි අච්චුවක්. It's a template or blueprint for a set of similar type of objects. Whereas, right? Whereas you can say the other hand, object is an instant of a class. Object kila කියන්නේ instant of a class. Object is an instant of a class. Okay, class is a template or blueprint for a set of similar type of objects. An object is an instant of a class. So that is how we take that. That is how we find, and that is how we take the object and object definition and class definition. Okay, now I think clear enough. So let's go to the question. Question number 45. In question number 45, the main concern is structured analysis and design represent system as a hierarchy of functions. Okay, the second one, in second one it says structured design is a system of interacting objects. Structured design is a system of interacting objects. No, that is not interacting objects, that is basically object oriented. Object oriented methodology combines data processing into individual entities. Object oriented methodology combines data and processes. Yes, data and processes into individual entities. That is true. So C is true. C is true. B is false because structured is interacting object. No, object oriented programming is interacting objects. So B is false. It should be other way. Structured analysis and design represent the system as hierarchy of functions. Yes, functions, maybe sequential functions, selection function, repetition function, like this. It's a set of functions. So A is correct, B is correct, no, A is correct, C is correct. AC only means number 3 is the correct answer for question number 45. Yes, number 3 is the correct answer for question number 45. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we have discussed few questions. I'll keep the balance to you. Can you try to solve this? Question number 46, 47, 48. Please send me the answers. 46, 47, 48 based on Python. Send me the answer quickly. Question number 46. What is the output of the following Python code segment if 30 is the input? Okay, this raw input thing today, so this won't come to your exam, right? The raw input was there in Python 2.7. කලින් version එකේ තමයි මේක තිබ්බේ. Python 2.7 අලුත් exam එකට raw input කියලා එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. raw input 2.7 වල වැඩ කරපු එකක් දැන් ඒ වෙනකොට input දැම්මම ඇති. හරි. raw input කියලා එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වෙනකොට දැන් තියෙන input. Okay, forget about that. Just think about the code and give me the output. Okay, 30 is the input. If 30 is there, then 30 less than 40. The 30 less than 40. It's yes. 30 is less than 40. If 30 less than 40, it will come inside this. එතකොට මේක ඇතුලේ තමයි අපි code එක හිතන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ කොටස. 30 less than 40 means we have to think about this, not the other things. Only think about this side. If 30 less than 40, result equal 1, then again it's checking if 30 is the number, 30 less than 10, no. So that will not be considered, it's not less than 10. 30 less than 10, no. And if 30 less than 20, 30 less than 20, no. That is also no. 30 is not less than 20. Else result is 4. So this is the one. And finally, you are printing the results, means you are getting this one. Right? Okay, your answer is correct. You have provided the correct answer. For this one, you will get fourth one as the answer. Number 4 as the answer. Okay, let's move to the next one. These are easy questions, right? What is the output of following Python code segment? S0 for I in range 10. S equal S plus I. So you have a variable S. The value of S is 0, a big 0. Then I in range 10. I in range 10 means these other values will be considered. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be considered 0 to 9. And S equal S plus I. Current S will be added with this. It is so these numbers are added to the S. 0 will be added 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 10 plus 5 is 15 plus 6 21. 21 plus 7 28 plus 8 36. 28 plus 8 36 plus 9 45. So answer number 3 45. So see, these questions are straightforward. You can find the answers easily, direct answers, and so you can mark them. Okay, the next one. What is the output of the following Python code segment? What is the output of following Python code segment? A list equal 2, 3, 11, 13, 5, 7. So S is 0 for I in range. Length of list. Length of list will be length of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is similar to for I in range 6. Means 0 will be considered, 1 will be considered, 2 will be considered up to 6. Sorry, up to 5. Because length is 1, 2, 3, up to 5. 0 up to 5. Then a list is item is a list 0th item. The first item is 2. It is greater than 10, continue. If it is greater than 10, continue. Greater than 10, is it greater than 10? No. So it won't continue. So it will be added to the S. So 2 will be added to the S. S is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. Then the next item, I will be going to the next position. I1 means this is the item. 3 is greater than 10. No, it won't continue. It will be at the item. 2 plus 3 is 5. 11 greater than 10, it will continue. Continue means like skipping, avoiding. 11 greater than 10, avoid that. Avoid that. 13 greater than 10, avoid that. 5 greater than 10, no, 5 is not greater than 10, it will not be avoided. 5 plus 5 is 10. Existing number is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. 7 greater than 10, no. No means it will be considered. Consider means 7 will also be added. So 10 plus 7 is 17. Answer number 4. Is it 16 or 17? 48. Answer number 4, right? 17. How you got 16 scenario? So can you explain so like if you miss something, please tell me. So it is adding the numbers which are less than 10. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10 and 10 and 7 is 17. I think you have mistakenly marked 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go to the last 2 questions to finish the paper. So please do this quickly. Send me the answers, Pute. Natuli, please send me the answers.